Welcome to my channel Starwire Daily. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. She's Hollywood royalty. She's a visionary filmmaker with a billion-dollar past. But when two hearts collide in the City of Angels, not even the most seasoned entertainment insiders could have predicted this stunning romantic twist. I'm talking about Kevin Costner and a love story that's about to change everything we thought we knew about life after heartbreak. What happens when a legendary actor who's conquered the big screen, the baseball diamond, and the wild frontier finds himself captivated by a woman who's dedicated her life to healing the world? Stay with me, because this story will take you from the glittering heights of Malibu mansions to the soul-searching depths of spiritual awakening. And trust me, you won't see the ending coming. Welcome back to Starwire Daily, where we dive deep into the lives of the stars we can't stop thinking about. Today, we're unraveling one of the most intriguing romantic developments to hit Hollywood in months. Because when Kevin Costner steps back into the dating world, the entire entertainment industry holds its breath. Picture this. It's been over a year since Kevin Costner, now 70, legally ended his 18-year marriage to Christine Baumgartner. The Yellowstone star has been through one of the most publicized and emotionally draining divorces in recent Hollywood memory. The courtroom battles, the custody negotiations, the division of their sprawling California estate. It was the kind of split that leaves you wondering if love is even worth the risk anymore. But here's where our story takes a fascinating turn. According to multiple outlets, Kevin is now casually dating director Kelly Noonan Gores. And when I say casually, don't let that word fool you. In Hollywood, casual can be code for we're taking this seriously but keeping the media wolves at bay. Now, let me paint you a picture of Kelly Noonan Gores, because this woman is far from your typical Hollywood romance story. Kelly was formerly married to billionaire Alec Gores, but her identity extends far beyond being someone's ex-wife. Born on March 25, 1979, in Los Angeles, Kelly has been dancing between the worlds of entertainment and enlightenment for decades. Kelly has been working in entertainment since she was 7 years old, growing up in front of the camera, acting in commercials, TV, and film. But here's what makes her story so compelling. In 2012, she made a dramatic pivot, transitioning from acting and starting Elevative Entertainment with the intention to create conscious media. Think about that for a moment. While most people in Hollywood are clawing their way toward more fame, more money, more recognition, Kelly deliberately chose a different path. She turned her back on the glittering superficiality of traditional entertainment and decided to use her platform to heal the world. Her career became marked by a series of thought-provoking and impactful films that explore themes of health, spirituality, and human potential. But her masterpiece, the project that would define her legacy, was yet to come. Her most acclaimed work is Heal, a documentary that delves into the power of the mind-body connection and the body's innate ability to heal itself. The 2017 documentary follows several individuals who used mind-body techniques after being diagnosed with fatal diseases. Now, I have to tell you, this documentary wasn't without controversy. Critics reviewed it as an infomercial that makes some valid points while pretending to be based on science, with some believing it promotes pseudoscience. But here's the thing about Kelly. She wasn't deterred by the criticism. She believed in her message, and she was willing to face the skeptics head-on. She even authored a follow-up book called Heal, which is twice the content of the film. This is a woman who doesn't do anything halfway. When Kelly Noonan Gores commits to something, she goes all in. But let's talk about her personal life, because this is where the story gets really interesting. Kelly married billionaire businessman Alec Gores on October 8, 2016. Alec Gores is an Israeli-American businessman whose current net worth hovers around $2.2 billion, according to Forbes, having earned his fortune through buyouts of technology firms. Can you imagine? Their wedding was a star-studded affair. Kelly stunned in a Brandon Maxwell gown with Neil Lane diamonds, while Alec kept it sharp in a custom Bijan suit and Brioni shirt. It was the kind of wedding that graces the pages of luxury magazines, the kind of celebration that makes you believe in fairy tales. They share one daughter, Riley, who is now 6 years old. For 8 years, they seem to have it all: wealth, success, a beautiful child, and what appear to be a loving partnership. But here's what we've learned about love in Hollywood. Sometimes the most picture-perfect relationships are the ones hiding the deepest cracks. After 8 years of marriage, Alec and Kelly officially separated in 2024. Now, think about the timing here. Both Kevin and Kelly experienced major life transitions in 2024. Both went through the painful process of ending long-term marriages. Both found themselves suddenly single after decades of partnership. Both had to figure out who they were outside of these defining relationships. And this is where their story becomes something more than just another Hollywood romance rumor. According to Us Weekly, the two were connected by friends. In a town where most relationships start at parties, premieres, or through agents looking to create publicity opportunities, Kevin and Kelly's connection began through genuine human connection. Let me paint you the picture of what Kevin Costner represents in this moment of his life. Here's a man who has conquered every mountain Hollywood has to offer. He's won Academy Awards, built a multi-generational fan base, and created some of the most iconic characters in cinema history. From Dances with Wolves to The Bodyguard, from Field of Dreams to his recent triumph in Yellowstone, Kevin Costner has been America's everyman hero for over 3 decades. But behind all that success, behind the accolades and the adoration, Kevin has also experienced profound loss and heartbreak. His divorce from Christine Baumgartner wasn't just the end of a marriage. It was the dismantling of a life they had built together, a future they had planned, a family dynamic that would never be the same. And then comes Kelly, a woman who understands both the intoxicating heights of success and the devastating depths of personal upheaval. Besides her professional front, Kelly is also a spiritual seeker, meditator, sports lover, and devoted mother. Noonan often shares insights about health, wellness, and personal and spiritual growth with her audience and social media followers. This is a woman who has spent years studying the power of the mind to heal trauma, to overcome obstacles, to transform pain into purpose. Can you imagine the conversations these two must have? Kevin, carrying the weight of a very public divorce and the pressures of maintaining his legendary status. Finding solace with someone who has dedicated her life to understanding how we heal from life's deepest wounds. But here's what makes this story so much more compelling than your typical Hollywood romance. Both Kevin and Kelly have experienced similar timelines when it comes to their relationship endings. They're not just two celebrities who happen to meet at the right time. They're two people who understand exactly what the other has been through. Think about the courage it takes to open your heart again after a marriage that lasted nearly 2 decades ends in such a public, painful way. Think about the vulnerability required to trust someone new with your deepest fears, your hopes for the future, your children's well-being. There have been whispers that Kevin Costner may be dating director Kelly Noonan Gores, a rumor Hollywood treats like cocktail party confetti. But these aren't just whispers anymore. People magazine notes that Kevin has been casually dating director Kelly Noonan Gores, and when People magazine reports on a celebrity relationship, you know it's moved from speculation to reality. Now, let's talk about what casually dating means in Kevin Costner's world. This is a man who doesn't do anything casually. When he commits to a role, he disappears into the character for months. When he decides to direct a film, he puts his entire career on the line. When Kevin Costner says he's casually dating someone, it means he's being intentional, he's being careful, and he's being respectful of both his own healing process and his new partners. And can we talk about the age factor for a moment? Kevin is 70, Kelly is 46. In Hollywood, where youth is often currency and relationships are frequently transactional, here we have two people who are connecting on a level that transcends the superficial. Kevin has reached a point in his life where he's not looking for a trophy wife or a career boost. He's looking for genuine connection, for someone who challenges him intellectually, spiritually, emotionally. Kelly, at 46, has already proved she doesn't need anyone else's success to validate her own worth. She's built her own empire, raised her own child, navigated her own very public divorce from a billionaire. She's not looking for someone to rescue her or provide for her. She's looking for partnership, for equal footing, for someone who matches her depth and complexity. This brings us to one of the most fascinating aspects of their potential relationship, the spiritual component. Kelly's entire career has been built around the concept of healing, of using consciousness and intention to transform our lives. Her documentary Heal wasn't just a film project. It was a mission statement about the power we all have to overcome our circumstances and create better versions of ourselves. Now imagine Kevin Costner, a man who has spent his career portraying characters who overcome impossible odds, who stand up for what's right, who find strength in the face of adversity, connecting with someone who has dedicated her life to teaching people how to do exactly that in real life. There's something poetic about a woman who makes films about healing, connecting with a man who is, in many ways, healing for one of the most difficult chapters of his life. It's like the universe looked down and said, "These two people need each other right now." Let's also consider what this means for their respective careers. Kevin is at a fascinating point in his professional journey. Yellowstone has introduced him to an entirely new generation of fans. He's not just the guy from The Bodyguard anymore. He's John Dutton, the complex, morally ambiguous patriarch who has captured America's imagination in ways that even Kevin probably didn't anticipate. But Yellowstone is ending, and Kevin is facing the question that every successful actor eventually confronts. What comes next? How do you follow up a cultural phenomenon? How do you continue to challenge yourself creatively when you've already achieved more than most actors dream of? Kelly could be the perfect partner for this next chapter. She understands the entertainment industry, but she's also carved out a completely different path within it. She could offer Kevin perspectives on using his platform and his resources in ways he might never have considered. Imagine Kevin Costner becoming involved in conscious media, in films that don't just entertain, but actually heal and transform their audiences. And for Kelly, connecting with someone like Kevin could open doors to resources and influence she's never had access to before. Not that she needs Kevin's success to validate her own, but partnership is about combining strengths, about what you can build together that neither could accomplish alone. Picture this. Kevin Costner's storytelling genius combined with Kelly Noonan Gores' mission to heal the world through media. The potential projects they could create, the stories they could tell, the impact they could have, it's enough to give you chills. But let's bring this back to the human level, because ultimately, that's what makes any love story compelling. Here are two people who have both experienced the pain of love ending, the confusion of starting over, the fear of trusting again. They both know what it's like to have their personal lives dissected in the media, to have strangers speculating about their most intimate moments. The dating news comes over 2 years after it was first revealed that Kevin and Christine Baumgartner were splitting after over 18 years of marriage, and just over a year since that divorce was finalized. That's not a long time to heal from the end of a nearly 2-decade partnership. The fact that Kevin is opening his heart again speaks to both his resilience and to whatever special quality he sees in Kelly. And let's consider Kelly's perspective. She's coming out of her own marriage to a billionaire, a relationship that probably came with its own unique pressures and expectations. Dating Kevin Costner means stepping into a completely different kind of spotlight, one where her every move will be analyzed, where paparazzi will be waiting outside restaurants, where social media will have opinions about everything from her outfit choices to her parenting style. The fact that she's willing to navigate that world suggests that whatever she and Kevin have found together is worth the complications that come with it. Now, I have to address the elephant in the room. The fact that both Kevin and Kelly's representatives haven't commented on these reports. News reached out to reps for Kevin, 70, and Kelly, 46, for comment, but has not heard back. In Hollywood, silence can mean many things. Sometimes it means the reports are completely false and not worth dignifying with a response. Sometimes it means the relationship is so new and fragile that any public attention could damage it. And sometimes it means that two very smart, very private people have decided that their personal lives don't need to be validated by public confirmation. Given both Kevin and Kelly's recent experiences with very public divorces, I'm inclined to believe it's the latter. They've both learned the hard way what happens when your private life becomes public entertainment. They've both been through the exhausting process of having every aspect of their relationships analyzed, criticized, and judged by strangers. If they are indeed together, the fact that they're keeping it private shows wisdom, maturity, and respect for each other and for their children. Kevin has kids with Christine, who are still processing their parents' divorce. Kelly has 6-year-old Riley, who is adjusting to her parents' separation. Protecting those children from unnecessary media attention isn't just smart, it's essential. But here's what we can read between the lines. According to sources, the two were connected by friends. This suggests that people who know both Kevin and Kelly well thought they would be a good match. That's not the kind of introduction that happens for publicity or career advancement. That's the kind of introduction that happens when friends look at two people they care about and think, these two need to meet each other. And there's something beautiful about that, isn't there? In a town where relationships are often manufactured by publicists and agents, where compatibility is sometimes measured in box office potential and social media reach, Kevin and Kelly were brought together by people who simply thought they would like each other. It reminds us that even in Hollywood, even among the biggest stars in the world, the best love stories still start with human connection, with friends who care about each other's happiness, with the simple belief that sometimes the right person can change everything. As we look toward the future, there are so many questions we're dying to have answered. Will they make their first public appearance together at a red carpet event? Will we see Kelly on Kevin's arm at the next award season? Will they collaborate professionally, bringing together Kevin's storytelling mastery with Kelly's mission to heal the world through media? Or will they continue to keep their relationship private, building something real and lasting away from the cameras and the speculation? Honestly, I hope they choose the latter. Both Kevin and Kelly have earned the right to love and be loved without having to perform that love for public consumption. But what I find most compelling about this potential romance is what it represents in terms of second chances, of healing, of the courage to remain open to love even after life has knocked you down. Kevin Costner could have easily decided that after 18 years of marriage and a devastating divorce, he was done with romantic relationships. He could have focused solely on his career, his children, his legacy. Kelly Noonan Gores could have retreated into her work, into raising her daughter, into the spiritual practices that have always sustained her. After a marriage to a billionaire ended, she could have decided that finding genuine connection was impossible, that all relationships ultimately disappoint. But they didn't. They remained open. They remained hopeful. They continued to believe that love, real, authentic, transformative love, was still possible. And that, my friends, is why this story matters. It's not just about two celebrities dating. It's about resilience. It's about the human capacity to heal, to grow, to trust again. It's about the belief that our greatest love stories might still be ahead of us, even when we thought the best chapters were behind us. Kevin Costner and Kelly Noonan Gores represent something we all desperately need to believe in. That it's never too late to start over. That wisdom gained from past relationships can actually make us better partners in future ones. That sometimes the universe has perfect timing even when we can't see the bigger picture. Whether this romance lasts, or whether it's simply a beautiful chapter in both of their healing journeys, it's already given us something valuable. It's reminded us that love doesn't have an expiration date, that connection doesn't follow a script, and that sometimes the most unexpected partnerships create the most extraordinary possibilities. As we continue to follow this story, I hope we remember that behind the headlines and the speculation are two real people who have been brave enough to open their hearts again. They deserve our respect, our privacy, and our hopes for their happiness, whatever form that happiness takes. Because ultimately, that's what we're all looking for, isn't it? Someone who sees us, who understands us, who makes us believe that our best days might still be ahead of us. If Kevin Costner and Kelly Noonan Gores have found that in each other, then they've found something more precious than any Academy Award or any box office record. Searching for a reason to believe in love again. And that, beautiful souls, is why we can't stop watching, why we can't stop hoping, and why we can't stop believing that sometimes the most beautiful love stories begin with the simple courage to try again. What do you think about Kevin and Kelly's potential romance? Are they perfect for each other, or do you think they should take more time to heal from their respective divorces? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I absolutely love hearing your perspectives on these stories. And if you're as fascinated by celebrity love stories as I am, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because we've got so many more incredible stories coming your way. From unexpected romances to shocking breakups to the kind of love stories that restore your faith in happily ever after. We're covering it all right here on StarWire Daily. Until next time, keep believing in love, keep watching the stars, and keep remembering that the best stories are always still being written.